guys, this is your girl Dom and we are here with another video, and I am super excited to be here. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for coming to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to give your girl some thumbs up and comment below if you have any questions or concerns, or if you just want to say hey girl hey. And please don't forget to press that notification button so you're alerted whenever I have any new videos coming up. So in this video, we are doing meal prep 101. So I just want to talk a little bit about meal prepping and why meal prepping and some of the benefits of meal prep when it comes down to weight loss or weight gain. So I wanted to talk about that before I actually go into meal prepping. So we do have some exciting foods. I am super excited to try some of the foods that I have on deck today. Like, I'm excited to try it. So we're going to see how all of that pays out. But I'm just going to shut up talking. I just want to jump right into the topics that I want to talk about first. I'm going to get through them really quickly, and then I just want to move on to the next thing. So I just wanted to start talking about meal prep 101. I get a lot of questions as far as those that are starting out their wellness journey. And I also get a lot of questions about meal prepping and how to meal prep, or what's the steps on meal prepping. So I wanted to talk about some of the benefits of meal prepping, why meal prepping, because I wanted to just break down just a lot of different things, because I did hear a lot of different pros and cons when it comes down to meal prepping, and I'm like, it's really not that bad as everybody think it is, but it is as great as those that think it is. First off, with meal prepping, number one, it saves you a bunch of time. Listen, you got to deal with kids and school activities, you're dealing with traffic, you're working all day, you're married, or whatever the case may be. Meal prepping saves you so much time. You don't have to worry about anything, or even if you just finished working out, you don't have to focus on, oh shoot, what am I going to eat now? The main thing, less time in the kitchen. I love to cook, but sometimes I'm just not in the mood to cook. That's just what it is. And it also saves you money. So if you just woke up, you got to go to work today, or you have a busy day or whatever it may be, and you just so happen to not eat before you leave. So that's one, you're going out to eat breakfast. Two, you got to eat lunch. And then three, by the time you come home, you're probably too tired to make dinner. So you go out and buy something. So that's 3 meals right there. Or probably like 2 to 3 meals, you probably buy out something. I'm not saying you're going to meal prep every single day. There's some days that I'll go, when I'm running out of my meal prep, I just happen to go get something. But I saved a bunch of money from meal prepping throughout the whole week. And then the weekends, that's when I have my little cheat days, my little, let me spoil my stomach real quick. You still have to enjoy food, but I felt like, oh my goodness, this is the same foods all the time. You still can eat it, but I also know that I am working out and I do eat properly throughout the week. Another great thing for meal prepping is I know what I am putting into my body. So say you want to go to a restaurant, you don't know if the chicken is expired, you don't know if the food is expired, you don't know how well they cater to that food. I've seen a lot of cooking shows, and I've seen the before and after of the cooking shows and how they fixing up the kitchen, and it's like, so you're telling me you were serving the same chicken in a container that had moldy chicken in it? Are you serious? But I just don't feel like food is made with love anymore, unless it's in my kitchen or my mom's kitchen. I'm eager to learn what I'm putting into my body, and I know exactly what I'm putting into my body. I know that my food is being cleaned the correct way, or my food is seasoning the correct way. Knowing what you're putting into your body is another step of knowing how to read your body, learn your body, and how to execute your weight goals, is knowing what you're putting inside. Another thing with meal prepping, it helps me regulate my body. Basically, if I'm going for weight gains, I know I have to eat at least 2 to 3 meals plus 2 snacks a day. So with me having a meal prep, I already have my food nice and ready, because if I don't meal prep, I would catch myself slipping from eating, and it's like, oh shoot, I have to remind myself that I have my whole eating schedule for the day the night before. So with having meal preps, it's so much easier to keep up with your routine, which helps you keep up with your weight goal. Another thing with meal prepping that I love is I begin to have a strong passion and love for food. I was one who was very picky when it came down to eating. There were certain things I was definitely not trying. But when I started my meal prep, I realized let me try this. This is a little bit healthier. Let me learn how to incorporate this. Or I started to incorporate onions a little bit more. I'm starting to incorporate different greens I'm starting to like. And being iron deficient is really good for me to really feed my body with foods that's going to help supplement my iron deficiency plus my weight journey. Be in love with food all over again. Listening to your body is a strong key when it comes down to meal prepping. Some things your body just not going to agree with, like bok chow. My body's like, no, we don't like that. Artichoke is another one where I said I would never try, but I haven't tried it. One day I will try artichoke. I'm more open to actually trying different foods. I may still have like that feeling about it, but I am at least more open to trying it. Sometimes you just gotta just jump and get out of the box, get out of your head and try something new. Meal prepping is definitely a key component while you're on your weight wellness journey because it's going to help aid along your process of your journey. When it comes down to working out is what are you eating to help fuel your body, whether you're doing weight loss or weight gain. Doing meal prep is really helpful on your wellness journey because it helps you just being in charge of what you're eating, and then you'll be a little bit more serious and more well caring and loving for yourself if you just start to do that. And you may inspire somebody else along the way. I didn't know that I was inspiring my best friend or some of the family members that I have or some of my followers I was inspiring. I get a lot of those in my DMs saying, because of you push me to keep working out. And I get some of my friends or old colleagues and stuff like that, they say the same thing. Because of you, I'm pushing myself to work out. And that used to happen to me. Someone encouraged me to work out. I seen a lot of influencers, and I seen one of my friends, I seen her working out. I'm like, yo, I really want to get in to this fitness journey because I want to actually love my body and love what I eat and what goes inside my body. So another question, another comment that I normally hear when it comes down to meal prepping is, it takes so long. Yes and no. Yes and no, it does take too long if you plan it wrong, but if you plan it right, it doesn't take long. I want to talk about some of the steps I do to have a successful meal prep day. One of my favorite things I love to do when it came down to meal prepping is I like to plan my meals the week before. When I first started meal prepping, I had no idea, and I was planning my meals the same day I'm going shopping and the same day I'm cooking. No, and no. Planning your meals a week before saves you so much time, and it opens your mind to different curiosity of different foods that you can try. You can actually look into the ingredients. You can learn about it. You can see if you have it in your cabinets, in your pantry, to see if you have the ingredients to create that dish. And it just helps you to pick out the foods that you want. Planning a week ahead is super helpful, but when you're first starting out, go with the real basics. Chicken thighs, chicken breasts, and ground chicken or ground turkey. The basics. Get you some rice and some veg. Let that be your first week, honestly, because trying to be really creative in your first week, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it could be really overwhelming. So I'd rather the first week to be really simple while you give yourself another week to actually look into the different foods that you can start getting really creative with. I learned the hard way, and I was like, that's a lot of work. And then ways to get you like great ideas is explore the internet. Like the internet is your friend, okay? Go Google meal prep meals, or you can Google healthy meal preps or whatever. Like go to Google and figure out how to get you some meal preps. Or another thing that I like to do is other people's pages and see what they're making. And then I'll say, okay, that looks good. How can I make it healthy though? So if I seen like the Alfredo and I say, I want to make some Alfredo. I know how to make my own Alfredo, but now I want to make some healthy Alfredo. So how can I do that? Then once I do that, then I make sure, do I got the ingredients, and I read up on how to do everything. Social media, Google, the internet is what's really going to help you, or find a nutritionist, or continue watching my channel and I will help you out. So another thing is that helped me out a lot is I love to pre meal prep. Pre-meal prepping saves me a bunch of time because that's the moment that I can clean all my veggies and my meats, can chop everything, I can cut everything, I can season everything, have everything marinate overnight. I'm someone who loves to cook with love. I can't help but to cook with love. I don't want for my food to taste like it's been rushed. Also write down my meals. That way when I am actually starting to put my food in, I'm not, well, what should I do now? No. When it comes to meal prepping, you want everything laid out for you so you don't have to think. All you're doing is doing. Planning the night before is so helpful. Okay, so when it comes down to meal prepping, choose at least 2 days to actually do your meal prep. Choose one primary day and then one secondary day. And I say that because as long as you have those 2 days stuck into your head, you know which 2 days that you're meal prepping. So Sundays and Wednesdays are my days to meal prep. So if I don't happen to have a chance to meal prep on Sunday, I know Wednesday I have to. You want to choose a day where you don't have, if you can be off on that day, choose that day. But if it's a day where you can't be off and you just got to do the meal prep, then you just got to do what you got to do. Clean up the night before. I clean my entire kitchen the night before. I make sure if there's any dishes in my sink, I will wash them. Or if there's any dishes in my dishwasher, I will take them out. I'll make sure I put everything away. I wipe down my counters. I sweep my floors. I make sure my stove is clean. I make sure everything is clean because I cannot clean in a dirty kitchen. I can't. It irritates me. It irritates my soul. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I have to make sure everything is nice and clean. I find it so much easier for me to meal prep during the day, in the morning, anywhere from like 10:30 to 11. That's when I'd rather start cooking because that's when I have like my highest energy. And then another thing is meal prep day is for meal prepping alone. That's it. If you got something to do, try to wait until after you meal prep. Please try to wait till after you meal prep. Now, if you got to work, you got to do what you got to do. Like, some things you just got to do what you got to do. But I try to make sure even my grocery shopping for my meal prep, I do it days before. Like for this meal prepping, what I'm about to do today, I actually went grocery shop like 2 or 3 days ago. So those are some of my key things when it comes down to my meal prepping. Those are some of the things that I follow, some of the things that I am gung-ho about doing because it helps me have a successful meal prepping day. So what I want to do is I want to go downstairs and I want to lay out all the foods that I normally get on my grocery list. So yes, let's just go downstairs really quickly and let's play around in my kitchen. Let's go. Okay, so we are downstairs. So look at all of that. That's a lot. Okay, I did go in. So the first thing up is some chicken breast. Then we got some salmon. Then we have some strawberries, some pomegranate, and we have Earth Balance butter, toasted sesame oil. We have the protein pancake mixture. Love this. Game changer. If you haven't tried it, please try it. It's 15 grams of protein per serving. We have some chicken broth, always. I found these chickpea noodles and red lentil noodles. So we're trying that today. We got some eggs. We got some everything bagels. Of course, I got to get my raspberries, my baby spinach. Then I have found some brown rice pasta. God, I was like, what? So, of course, I'm going in with my bella mushrooms, my mandarins, my asparagus, my avocados, my fresh beans. This was some chicken breast in a can. Love it. Of course, an onion, my cucumbers, of course. Then I have my blueberries, my raspberries, my tomatoes. Then these right here are core power is like the best. Then we have the Quaker oats, and then I have my overnight oats as well, game changers. And I have my cashews, was using that today. Romaine letters, my red potatoes. Then I have my sweet potatoes, my limes, my lemons, my almond milk, and we have our peppers and sweet peppers. Whew, that was a lot. So this is basically the foods that I get for my meal prep. So this is my healthy snack right here. So this is like one of those where I want to cheat a little bit. It's dark chocolate covered almonds, and dark chocolate, they say, is like the healthiest chocolate. So when I'm on my menstrual, it's like, And I love almonds, and then that they got them covered. Like, so this would be like my cheat snack. Cause I don't really care for them healthy potato chips. It's like, all right, so this meal prep is about simplicity and creativity. So we're gonna start with the salmon, and I wanna put this in the oven. And I want to season my salmon with my mixture, you know, the foods that I put into that food processor, and then the olive oil and the butter. And I'm gonna use the Just Eat seasonings as well as salt and pepper to season the salmon. And then I seen this really cool trick that I seen someone snap the asparagus on its own, like bending it to break on its own, so it lets you know where it needs to break off. So I said, well, let's try that and see how it works. And then I wanted to put this into the oven. I wanted to see how baked asparagus would taste, and it tastes really, really good. And now I'm doing the same thing with my chicken breasts. Now I should have beat it up a little bit because they were really, really thick, so I had to put them into the oven. But it's okay because it was still really, really juicy. So then what I want to do first before putting them into the oven, I do want to at least start getting them cooked onto the stove first. So that way it can speed up the baking process, because I wanted the outer layer of the chicken breast to really cook first and make sure that's a nice and little crispy taste. And then I'm going to flip them over, and then I want to re-season them again, because sometimes the juice can take away the season, and I wanted the chicken to actually have the season still on them. And then after that, I'm just going to check on it again, flip it over, and then I'm going to put them into the oven. So as I'm putting those into the oven, I am going to take out the salmon and slap a little bit more of that sauce on top of it. And then we're going to move right over into the asparagus. Now, because I love the asparagus in the oven so much, I said I will try this again. So I wanted to slap some of that sauce on there as well. Then I'm going in with some salt, some garlic, and then I'm going to mix that all together and then lay them out nice and flat so they can be baked evenly. As I'm putting this into the oven, I am going to move over into my pasta. Now, I already had the water boiling, but I am making two different pastas. One is going to be a red sauce pasta, what I'm making with my red lentil noodles, and then the other one is going to be my Alfredo, with the one I'm making with my brown rice noodles. That same pot where I had the chicken breast in, I want to keep that juice because I am going to use that later. So I did take out the asparagus as well. So I just want to put that into a bowl and put that into the side as well, let it cool off. Then after that, I want to go in with my green beans. And when I say this was so simple, this meal prep was really, really simple and really creative. It really didn't take much. The only thing that took me the longest was actually creating the sauces. That was it. But other than that, everything else was pretty cool. Okay, so now we're going to move over to the sauces. So the first one I'm going to do is with the red one, and I'm going in with 1 cup of raw cashews. And I want to put this in some water, and I'm going to boil it for no more than 2 minutes because I don't want the cashews to be too soft. Now, after that, I'm going to put this into the blender, and the water would have to be too high, or I didn't have the top on high enough because that thing popped. I was like, yo, it scared the crap out of me. Oh my goodness. I was terrified for a second. But after I did seal the top on better, it did come out exactly how I wanted. So then after that, I'm going to go in with my mixture that I put into my food processor. I'm going to go in with some chicken broth, and I'm cutting up a fresh diced tomatoes because whenever I'm having like anything in the form of like spaghetti or anything like that, I always like fresh tomatoes. It just makes this food taste even fresher. And then I'm going in with my tomato paste, and I'm just gonna let that work in just for a little bit. And then I added the pasta water to lighten it up, to make it a little bit watery. So you just want to keep doing that, but you want to do a little bit at a time, because if you put too much, then it will get too watery. So next we're going to go in with the cashew mixture that I made in a blender, and I just want to stir that up. And then after that, I'm going to put a little bit of the Prego sauce in there just to give it a more of a darker color and add to the taste as well. And then after that, you just want to add according to how much you want. You know, that's really optional for you to even do this step. But
If you want more, you can apply more. It's all up to you. Then after that, I'm going in with my Just Eat seasonings. I want to season this bad boy up. I want to with some parsley, always for added color. Green makes everything look great. Then I did put some salt and pepper in there as well. And when I tell you this sauce was really, really good. So then I put 2 big cups of spinach in here, and I'm gonna let that simmer down. After that cooked for a little bit, I'm going to add the noodles, and I just want to stir it up just a little bit. Put a little bit of noodles as you go because you just want to make sure you have enough sauce to cover the noodles. So next, we are going to go over to the Alfredo. This is probably like my favorite sauce to create. So I'm going in with 2 cups or 3 cups of cashews, and I chopped up half of an onion, and then I just left some garlic up in there. So then I did the same thing. I put the cashews into the blender. I put the onions, the garlic, some yeast flakes, and I used some of that boiling water from the cashews in there with a little bit of lemon. A little bit of lemon go a long way, with some Just Eat seasoning, some parsley, some salt, some pepper, some garlic, some red pepper, and we're just gonna blend that all up. And I mean, from the first time I created this sauce to now, I just know exactly what to put in there. So I did go in with chicken broth. I went in there with that mixture I make for the food processor. I did that as well, and then I did put in some toasted sesame oil. So in that pot where I had the chicken breast, I wanted to keep that pot because it still has some good flavor in there. So I just put in all of my peppers, my onions, my garlics. I mixed all of that up, and then I'm just gonna put that into the pot, let that simmer, and then I'm gonna put that cashews Alfredo sauce in there just so that it can have that taste in there. Oh my goodness, it tastes so good. So I added some paprika as well just for some added coloring, and then I put in some toasted sesame oil in there. Delicious. Then I put it in some jerk sauce. Delicious. Game changer. And this was mild. Add as much as you like. It's up to you. Whichever flavor, hot, mild, it's up to you. But girl, when I tell you this pasta was so good, and then I finished it, topped it off with some Parmesan cheese. It was good. Would definitely highly recommend it again. It was so freaking good. But because this is bulking season, I definitely went really heavy with the pasta. I was just trying to explore different things. But will I ever do a pasta like this, double for a meal prep? No. But I will mix in pasta with another, regular meals that I make for my meal prep. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Thank you for allowing me to entertain you as well as educate you. I pray that this helped anyone along their meal prepping journey. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to comment. Give your girl some thumbs up. Please don't forget to press that notification button so you're alerted whenever I have any new videos coming up. And guys, see you in my next video.